Hello everybody and welcome back to another very exciting episode of the Save Slot 3 Gamescast. I'm your host, EF Gizmo, joined this week by Massive Das
Hello, everyone.
and Mr. C.W. Alanke.
Hey Dave.
Boys, another week has gone. There's so much that's happened in the video game world and we're going to talk about it right now in my favourite segment of the show, the Chris Pengelly News Desk. Time for some news!
Brought to you by Dave again with 14 items of news.
Baker's doesn't. Do I do too much for the show? Write in comments. Does Pengels not pull his weight anymore?
Yeah. Oh, we'll get to why when we get to play.
Oh no, we will.
Number one, WB Games cancels Wonder Woman, and they've also killed Monolith, not Monolith Studios, because that's the Xenoblade ones, just Monolith. WB San Diego and Player First. So they've killed 3 studios and they've cancelled Wonder Woman, and obviously they cancelled Multiverses not that long ago. Ray, were you looking forward to a Wonder Woman game?
I mean, it's hard for me to sit here and say that I was, to be honest with you, Pengi.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strange IP, isn't it? Especially for a game. I mean, I was really excited for Monolith's next game, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still, hold on to that first Lord of the Rings game they did anyway. Definitely. So I would have been excited to see what they were doing next, because we never really even got to see this, did we?
No.
They announced it, and it sounds like it's kind of they had one go and then start again and another go and then start again, and I think it was on its third attempt that they're doing internally to try and get this game going, and I think in the end, obviously WB were just like, let's just sod this, let's just cut it out. Obviously, WB were trying to sell their studios anyway, weren't they? So now they're shutting down a load of them. Makes sense, because I think they're just out, they're just done, aren't they? Essentially,
Yeah,
other than Batman and probably Hogwarts now.
They basically put a statement out saying they're going to make more Harry Potter IP games, more Mortal Kombat games, more Game of Thrones games, which I don't really get, because it was like, we've got the mobile one recently, but is that Game of Thrones still a big IP? Or is it a little bit like Harry Potter? It's like still got, a lot of cachet.
They still really like
stuff.
House of the Dragon, don't they? So.
Yeah. And a new Batman content with later DC content and the way when the DCU kicks off. But films obviously only take 1 year to make, not like games 3 years. So even the new Superman film's amazing and does $1 billion in a box office, and Rotten Tomatoes scores 80. If they go make a Superman game, that's going to take 3 years, and by then the DCU could be killed, dead again. So
yeah, it's really tough for that, because by the sound of it, they're trying to sell off their studios, but not any of the IPs, right?
Yeah.
So they wanted someone to come along and buy their studios and then lease the IPs off of them for them to make games. It's no one in their right mind was ever gonna do that. So you kind of they've ended up in this situation. It was well, this just felt like it was always going to happen. If that was how you were going to try and sell them. But yeah, it's a shame because Monolith have been around for so long as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
They are a very, very old dev. I still remember the Fear games. It was Fear 2, the co-op one, which me and one of my friends played and absolutely loved. So it's very sad to see them go, definitely.
Dave, any thoughts on WB?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Craig. I'm pretty annoyed that Monolith's gone, because even their quote-unquote bad game, Shadow of War, is not a bad game at all. So it's I wish they'd been given a chance. If Wonder Woman wasn't going to work out, then I wish they'd been given a chance to do something else. But yeah, to me it seems weird to kill that studio. The other two, the Multiverse studio, I get. They've tried twice, it's not worked. And what does San Diego make, Pengi? Is that mobile
I have
games?
no idea.
It was VR, wasn't it?
A mobile game or something, I don't know.
Might be the VR studio. I'm not sure. But yeah, to me it doesn't make sense. The Wonder Woman game, kind of with Craig, we didn't see anything. I like the idea of a Wonder Woman game that was like Shadow of Mordor, but equally, Wonder Woman doesn't have a particularly like iconic set of villains, really, like the other DC games.
Name me one Wonder Woman villain.
Cheetah.
Name me another one.
What was the first film? Ares.
Yeah, we got two.
We got two. But like, you know what I mean? Like he's got his whole back crew because they've made games about the back crew, and then you've got the Joker, and then you've got Mr. Freeze, etc., etc. Right? So it's kind of like, yeah, it's just sad. I mean, it's the way that the industry's been going probably last 4 or 5 years. That these studios go. I mean, hopefully, the bulk of Monolith can find somewhere else to be, because like I said, like kind of what Craig said, like I did really enjoy their older games. Like I've played Fear 2 as well, and like I said, Shadow of Mordor I absolutely adore. So it's a real shame. As someone who loves the IP but loves that game, it's pretty sad that we're definitely not going to get Shadow of Universe or whatever, which is pretty sad. But there we go, Pengi. There we go.
Sad times.
Sad times.
Next one on the news. There was actually IGN FanFest this weekend. One of the tots is under that, but one of the things announced in there is Blades of Fire from Mercury Steam, the Metroid and Castlevania devs. Craig, you bid on this one and won this one on Fantasy Critic, I believe.
Yeah, I think this looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very nice trailer. It looks like a game that we don't really get anymore. Like, I don't think now we're in a stage where any game like this basically has to be a Dark Souls game, right?
Yeah.
It can't be anything but that, really. Otherwise, you're not going to make your money back. So it looks cool. And yeah, these devs have got good pedigree, right? I know, like, they were obviously working with Nintendo for Dread, and was it Samus Returns they did before that?
Yeah.
Whereas now they'd be, on their own. But yeah, no, the game looks really cool, I think. Very, like, throwbacky trailer, definitely.
Yeah. It's one that I could see only being in the 7s, though, which isn't great for your Fantasy Critic, but it does look pretty interesting. It's pretty soon as well. I think it's like May 22nd, if I'm right. Which, May is a busy month for games,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
it might get lost, which might not be a good thing for Mercury Stream. Dave, any thoughts on Blaze of Fire?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I've watched the trailer and I personally like what I see, but my only worry is it is one of the most generic looking and sounding games that you could possibly conjure up, with sort of like the world design and the fact it's called Blades of Fire. To be honest with you, I was low key hoping it was going to be some sort of crazy like NBA Jam ice skating game. So that's a bit disappointing. But yeah, I think the game looks good. Mercury Steam have got a very good track record. Like you said, the Metroid games were pretty good. They did Castlevania Mirror of Fate, I believe, which reviewed badly, but is a really good game. I think it reviewed badly because the 3DS version was terrible, and then like they did like a HD version that was a lot better.
Yeah, the thing is, most of their games have been 2D Metroidvanias, and this is not a 2D Metroidvania.
Did they also do?
Still be a Metroidvania.
Yeah. Did they do the 2D Epic Mickey?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But yeah, it's one of those. It like I said, my worry is how generic it looks and sounds. But if it's good, it's good, right? But it does look like pretty generic fantasy from the trailer. But it was a cool trailer. It's really hard because I'm trying not to shit on it because I don't feel that way. It's just like it just seems a little bit generic. That's all.
Yeah.
Just a lot of video games now, you know.
Not a video. Another video game coming to the PS5 in April. We now have the date for Forza Horizon 5, April on PS5, and that's also when the Horizon Realms goes live for the PC and Xbox version. Various price points and that on the PlayStation, but there's going to be an £85 deluxe version, which includes all the content, and it has early access compared to the other version on PS5. So an early access for a 2021 game on the PS5. Davey, thoughts on this? Because I've seen a few bits and pieces on this one.
Yeah, I mean, the price point is an interesting one because it's the same price it is on Xbox. Okay,
yes,
so like that's fair. I personally would have repackaged it on both platforms as a Forza 5 Game of the Year edition, made it £70 on both. But
yes,
okay, whatever. Like it's the game's worth the money because it's got a lot of really good content. That's fine. The early accessing, I'd say I put the addendum in on the news. Like, fuck off with that stuff. Like, don't have that as a fucking pre-order thing. The game's been out since 2021, on
They've
2
done the
platforms.
same with Age of Mythology
But
as
there's
well.
just no need. Like, it's not early access. The game's been out for years. Like,
Hmm.
you're playing it earlier than the street day. Just make the street day earlier. Let's make any like it's not a perk. It's so annoying. Like I really dislike the 3-day, 5-day early stuff because they sell it. And all it is they're basically delaying the actual release to trick you into spending more money. So don't ever buy a game just because of early access. Like it's just not worth it. It's stupid. But it's a good game. One thing I didn't add to this news story because we don't tend to do that much on rumors. It is rumored that Indiana Jones will also be in April, and so will Senua's Saga 2. That is the big rumor at the moment that they're going to be throughout April. Is those 3 games, but this is the only game with an actual date.
I have seen the indie rumor. I've not seen the Senua Fable.
Yeah, it's dotted around, so it's one of those we don't know. And obviously at the moment this doesn't have a physical copy.
No, a lot of uproar about that as well. No physical, so yeah.
But there we go.
Craig, thoughts on this?
Extra stuff definitely seems silly. Absolutely silly. I mean, them not doing a physical doesn't surprise me at all, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I guess their games, like, they see it as their games don't really sell much physical. I wouldn't have thought on their console could a Game Pass. It's like, well, what's the point of it? Right? So yeah, it doesn't really surprise me, honestly. And I think, like I said, we are old men at this point now. We're moaning about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That we are.
Yeah, it's just I've seen lots of people want the physical and go, right, yeah. Because I eventually would have bought this on PlayStation if I had a physical. But now I'm not going to buy it. So there we go. Especially for 85 quid.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's a great game, but we've already played it, so it's like
Yeah.
I get if you're pure PlayStation, £85
Yeah.
probably worth it for what you're going to get because will be the best racing game on that platform by a mile. But we've already played it, so like you said, we're old men at this point, shouting at clouds.
Yeah. Number 4,
Pre-orders
Dave,
as
you
well.
might have.
It's #1 in most regions.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Which again
On PlayStation.
doesn't surprise me because it's a great game they've not had access to.
No.
Yeah. I think the first physical like Xbox game of the year on PlayStation was not going to be for India. Could see having one because it did get physical on Xbox. It's obviously like Doom that have a physical.
It does.
Definitely.
It does have a physical Doom.
Yeah. That's a risk.
I think Indie will because I think it'll be part of some sort of Disney contract.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you.
Yes. Yeah, I can do. Hellblade didn't have one on Xbox, and it's a bit cheaper price as well, even on Xbox. Wasn't it like 35 or 45 or something like that?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Next news one, Dave. You might have to tell me what this game is and how I even pronounce it. Number 4.
So La Juerma, which is from the Metro Exodus devs, is coming.
Yep.
Is coming out. It is a first-person shooter, like adventure game, kind of like Metro, but it's in South America and it's more like robotsy and like sci-fi. It looks pretty good. It feels very much like some of the older Call of Duty like single player campaigns. Like it feels very Advanced Warfare. If you watch the trailer, you'll know what I mean. But it's also very clearly the Metro devs. It's basically sci-fi Metro is the best way to describe it. And I think it looks quite good, actually. I think it looks quite surprisingly good. It's one of those. Is it a bit generic because there is fucking hundreds of games? Maybe. But if you watch the trailer, I think it might be one that tickles your fancy, particularly if you liked Metro. But I think this is a weird one, Pengi, but you'll agree with me when you watch the trailer. If you really liked Killzone Shadowfall,
I did like Killzone.
It does look
Shadowfall.
quite similar to Killzone, but it's very hard to pronounce and spell. But it's LA Quimera. I think this one might go under the radar a bit, but it looks really good. The trailer's really good, and yeah, looks cool.
Craig, do you know any idea what this is? Because this is the first time I've even heard of it.
Yeah, so I was watching the trailer. It looks similar to like how Blades of Fire is saying looks like a throwback trailer. This feels like a trailer from, remember on the 360 boys where we would get so many of these futuristic looking first person shooters coming out and you'd struggle to remember which one was which.
Oh yes.
Almost feels like back in those days. 'Cause
Like
you don't
a
really get a lot of these like campaign first-person shooters anymore, right?
no.
You see this, and you're like, oh god, this brings it all back, doesn't it? Yeah, it does look good, but I don't know, it's hard to show off for like first-person shooters now because we've almost kind of like seen it and done it all now.
Yeah, I think you
So you're
just
like, right,
feel it,
so
don't
what's
you?
your hook
That's
gonna
the thing.
be? What's gonna be like what sets this apart in a way?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. It does feel very much like the Syndicate and Time Shift era, where we'd have all these
Yeah,
games.
Crises games.
Right, and I
Yeah.
think it's at the moment this is only announced for Steam as well.
Yeah, it's coming
Um,
soon to PC. It's only
yeah,
on PC.
so it's like we'll see. I mean, it's one of those I can't imagine it had the budget of say Metro, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I saw the trailer and thought I might as well stick it in. Why not? We're men of the people, aren't we? So
Yeah. Next you know, Monster Hunter Wilds hits 1.4 million concurrent players on Steam despite launch issues. Dave, you like a Steam Deck? Have you played it on that? Are you one of the 1.4 million players?
absolutely not, 'cause it
Oh.
doesn't run very well. Um, it's crazy that that's concurrent as well. So I would probably estimate the actual sales to be closer to 2 million because of time zones. But game's doing very well, Craigo. It's one of those that I guarantee will see silly numbers. Probably Capcom's best-selling game. I reckon was it 14 million? I think we decided Worlds was. So I would not be surprised at all if Wilds ends up being the best-selling Capcom game.
Yeah, it could do. I'm looking at now. It's currently 724,000 in game on Steam.
And
at
like
the
I said,
moment.
it does have issues at the
That's
moment.
that's
well.
just Steam. I can't
Mm.
see the concurrent on the or available the page I'm looking on, but yeah, there's a lot of people playing it on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And obviously we will
It's
talk
gonna-
more about it later because you two are deep
Yeah.
in there.
it's gonna be interesting when we get like, the charts and stuff like that from like the UK weekly charts, and especially in Japan, how it's done there because obviously it's a huge series in Japan. So
I would expect huge PlayStation 5 numbers
yeah,
for
yeah,
this
that's
month.
going to be interesting to see how well it has actually done over
Yeah.
there. 'Cause I see some companies started up a rental service for PS5s
Oh, for
for
Christ's
this,
sake.
basically for this game, So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's that one. Talking to PlayStation, Sony have announced two more games from the Indian Hero project. So one of them is Bloody Roots, which only has a screenshot, and it's like it's cyberpunky type ice game from what I've seen of it. And you're a gang, and you like gotta try to get your money back or something like that from other gangs, and that's the thing. And the other one's called Loco, which is like a weird platformer, sort of game from what I can see. Though it's most probably that one's, I would say, coming soon. Is even coming to mobile. That one. Dave, have you seen any of these two? Because I said it was a screenshot, so obviously you wouldn't seen much of it.
Excuse me. Yeah, I haven't seen much of Bloody Roots. I have seen the Loco trailer. It looks very low budget.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it looks like the type of mobile games that were coming out in that region 5, 10, 15 years ago. But it's interesting that they're pushing into the market probably more than the actual content of the game, really. But like you said, it's on a mobile thing. It has DualSense and touch support on mobile, on like remote play. It's got a kind of Minecrafty building element as well. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It might do some stuff in India. I think outside of India it will do a whole lot, but you never know.
You never know. Pretty thoughts. I don't expect you've seen either of these games. What you think about like Sony like going to Indian studios and starting helping a bit much like they've done with China with the Black Myth and Lost Soul Aside, etc. You think we're suddenly going to get a Lost Soul Aside, but from an Indian studio or something?
Don't know if that's going to be anytime soon, in all honesty. I think these are what Sony's essentially done is they've publish these games and pick them up quite a way down the line, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to take a long time before you get India turning out games like that. Personally, like we are seeing now with China and a bit of South Korea as well, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we're going to go from these, like you say, quite basic looking indie games to Lost Soul Sides anytime soon. But yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't even know they were. We're kind of doing this in India now, but yeah, it's an emerging market, isn't it? Globally, people are going to see money to be made there, definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, and Sony have done it before because it's always been a very, very strong mobile market. So when Sony used to have their mobile division, they used to make a lot of stuff in India, particularly for Tizen, which is basically their version of Samsung Store. So yeah, they have. It's one of those. It's one of those markets that when I used to dev, we used to make a lot of money in. To be honest with you, India and China have always kind of been the mobile markets and sort of like parts of South America. So it's interesting that these games are getting full PS5 releases. The only other type of game like this I can recall is Raji, which was really good. I think we all played, and obviously the cancelled Prince of Persia remake was was an initial push into India, and they found that they weren't up to it. It's one of those. It's India, much like China, has a large IT-based culture almost. So there is a lot of very talented people out there. I can see why they want to leverage that. But it's also I don't know. I kind of agree with Craig. I also don't think you're going to get. They're not quite the type of people that have the cultural want to make all these China fantasy games, for want of a better term, because that's the basis for a lot of the China Hero Project games we get. Is they start with this kind of we want to do this kind of
they sort of Journey of the West, and only ever
right,
do Journey of the West.
which inspires.
Well,
them,
and there's
that's
Romance
cool,
of the Three Kingdoms. That's China, isn't it?
Yeah, which is again it's the same as an old novel, and it's
and there's one other. I can't remember what the other one. There's 3 big novels that they use. I can't remember the third one.
Yeah, like I was saying, Raji's really interesting because it's one of the first type of games that you use the kind of Hindi, religious stuff, which is quite cool. But yeah, we will see what comes of it.
They can make Bollywood. They can make Bollywood games.
Maybe they already have, and we don't know.
And wasn't there that breakout Bollywood film a couple of years ago, that action one or something? I can't remember what it's called. Just make a game of that or something, I guess.
Indeed.
There we go.
Indeed.
There we go. Well, what Craig might be excited for is Gex is coming back. The Gex trilogy is coming to PS5 and other things. There is going to be a physical, I believe, from Limited Run this summer. Craig, are you excited for Gex coming back?
I've never played a Gex, so
You missed out.
You missed out on you missed Gex. It was the platformer mascot of 3DO back in the day. Then he came to everything in PlayStation, 3D parody, platform levels and that. It was good times on that day for Gex.
Yeah, my only question for this, Pengi.
Yeah.
Are we getting PAL Gex or are we getting American Gex? Because I am not interested at all if we're getting American Gex. But
was it that much different?
Dude. So Craig, Gex's main thing, right, is that Gex talks a lot. So in America, I believe
getting that from the trailer right now.
It's an American dude. I can't remember. But it's an actor. In PAL, it was the sexy British voice of Leslie Nielsen. Not Leslie Nielsen. What's he called? It's Leslie something. He's the old British guy that used to do commercials and be like, "Oh, behave." And it was him. He did the voice of Gex in the PAL version, and it's fucking miles better. Go and Google PAL Gex or PAL Enter the Gecko, right? And he's got this suave, sexy old man British accent. That's the Gex I want. I'm not interested in zany American Gex. That can fuck off.
Oh, I thought more you thinking the jokes and the content would be different. But surely it's still parodying Austin Powers, etc.
Yeah, it's just a whole different voice actor, and the voice actor is way better.
I also am questioning in 2025 is the content we're at different times now.
Leslie Phillips. That's who I was thinking of. Leslie Phillips.
Is it PC in 2025? The Gex content.
Well, probably not. But it was the it's just all the movie quotes I used to like from Enter the Gecko, and he'd be like, "Obi-Wan has taught you well," and great shit like that. But yeah, it's great. Google, watch 2 videos, Craig. PAL versus non-PAL, and you'll be fully in agreement with me. I am correct. But everything's coming back now, Pengi. We've had 6 Tomb Raider games. Now we're getting 3 Gex games. What's next?
Next is Terminator, Dave. In Terminator 2, but in 2D with Terminator 2D. No Fate. It's coming.
Looks amazing. Me and Craig stopped playing the game we were playing because I had to show him this trailer, and I think Craig was equally as excited as I was.
Craig, actually, have you watched Terminator 2? Considering you don't really like, you mentioned old movies now and again, and it's like, oh yeah, you've not actually watched like Alien or something. Have you watched Terminator 2, Craig?
I love Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is great.
Good. That's good. That's good. That is good. So, are you excited for this one? I saw in the trailer it's getting a physical, so is it going to be like 40 quid or something ridiculous like that?
I'll buy it. It deserves it. Oh, this is an aside. Okay, I'm sorry to derail the podcast because me and Craig did talk about this. The Pengi, what's the other film that they made into a game? RoboCop.
Yeah, that's great.
RoboCop game down to £7 in the PS5 sale currently.
Yeah, great game.
Also a great movie. Craig hasn't seen that, sadly.
Yeah. I would buy that for $1.
Is it worth $7?
It's worth $7. It's worth more now. I pay full price and I had a great old time. Got the platinum. Very good. This is my favourite game. Like that year on it, I put it like third or something in my top 10. It was great. Great game. And then I went and played the Terminator game, which was not as good, but still pretty decent. The Terminator game that they did.
One of my pet hates. Okay, I'm just gonna derail this even more. You go onto, so I've gone to Netflix. I was like, I wonder if Terminator 2's on here. You got Terminator anime and then Terminator Dark Fate, but not the rest of the Terminators. You got RoboCop, but only the new one. Like, what? Can't we just not have everything on one fucking platform?
No.
Can we? It's just. I don't want to watch Troy. I want to watch Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Gundam. Wait. Go on.
Yeah. So yeah. Next one. Talking about deals, Dave. PlayStation VR 2 is now $399, £399.99, I should say, for both bundles. So you can buy the one with Horizon for this £400, which is £130 off the basic one, and it'll be even more for the Horizon bundle. So Dave, you're gonna go buy yourself a PSVR 2 now? It's only £400 with Horizon.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No, because I don't have the room. But if I had the room, I'd be a lot more tempted at $399. Chloe's been nagging me to get a new VR headset because she wants one.
Yeah.
She liked the VR headset, but our one got discontinued content-wise. But we don't have the room, especially with the wire. But $399 are much more. It's the same price as the original PSVR was, right? And
Yes.
I think if you're into PlayStation, I think it's that bad a deal now. To be honest with you, I know there's not a huge amount of content coming out, but is PSVR the type of thing you play 40 hours of a year, or is it something you play a couple hours a month, playing like a golf game or a Beat Saber or like the odd like Moss, right? Yeah, I don't understand why there's 2 bundles if they're the same price.
Yeah, why would you buy?
Right.
Like it's like I own Monster Horizon Call of the Mountain. I own that like digitally from my PSVR 2. I would still buy that bundle and just sell the code on like eBay and like someone that bought a used one or bought the bundle without Horizon or something for some reason. Even if I only got a tenner for it, that'd be a tenner back or something.
It reminds me of the Vita, because remember when the Vita was really struggling, which I know was most of its life before Craig says it. They used to do, but there was like you could buy on its own for I think it was $139.99, or they did like 8 bundles with like digital codes in.
Yeah,
it was the same price, and I'd be like, well, I'll buy the one with the bundle then. I think I got one with like Wipeout or something, if I remember rightly, and like stuff like that. But yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? A bit weird, a bit strange.
Yes.
This one start at.
It would be it was 530 quid for the base
without a game.
Without a game. Okay. Are you gonna get your PSVR 2 now? You're deep into PlayStation. Play some Horizon.
No,
Ah.
I think I'd rather just flush the money down the toilet, to be honest with you, Pengi, at this point.
Okay.
You miserable
But then
bastard.
VR has no, I have literally zero interest in VR. So yeah, and I think this thing's deader than dead could be at this point, right? So
Yeah.
Right,
Yes. I think.
Go on.
Yeah. I was gonna say, selling units most probably. From what I hear, games still sell quite well on it, and the attach rate of, the of it is actually pretty decent. Sort of thing. So it's, I guess why we still get like your big VR games like your Alien and stuff, because the whatever how many 100,000 actually have this are buying that Alien game digital and stuff like that. So it's from that point of view, it's doing quite well. But the actual units and stuff, no, most probably not.
Nice. Right, I'm going to derail the podcast again, Craig, okay? So on Amazon Prime Video, the Terminator 1, MGM Plus, Terminator 2, Prime, Terminator Genesis, Paramount Plus, Terminator Dark Fate, Buy or Rent. That is 4 Terminator films on the same service that you need 3 subscriptions and a rental. What's the fucking point of having it on here? I can't even find Terminator 3. Can't even find it, Pengi. I can't even find it. Robocop 3's on it. Is Robocop... Hang on. Fucking Robocop 1 on it?
RoboCop 3 is not very good.
No.
There's only 2 RoboCop films worth watching. It's RoboCop and RoboCop 2.
The remaster isn't too bad. The remake with sexy flag in it from...
Oh, that's
MCU.
bad. That's bad. That's bad.
Oh,
That's
we
real
can...
I don't remember if I own Terminator 2 on DVD, Dave. I've got
I have it on-
Terminator 1, I feel, somewhere.
I have it on Blu-ray somewhere. For some reason... Oh, there's like... RoboCop, then there's RoboCop that was a TV series, RoboCop Dark Justice, all of these, by the way, all on different services.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it, Craig. I hate what we've become. But Total Recall is on Prime, so I might watch Total Recall tonight. Carry on, Pengi.
That's good. Next news. Back to Monster Hunter. Hunter's update in April will add harder monsters. More hard, and obviously we also know one of the monsters already, and it's going to have a gathering hub, which hasn't currently got in WoW. So, Craig, when we play together, we can go gather in the hub together and go have some food come April.
Rise had a gathering hub sort of thing going on, didn't it? There's some sort of online...
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was just their glorified menu sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it does make sense to, I guess, have it. And yeah, I mean, they're going to need to pump out this content for this game, right? Because, people will devour it, as I'm sure Penguins will talk about very quickly, in a matter of a week, I'm sure, if that. So.
Yeah.
That's that old adage of, you spent 4 years making this. Oh, I've beaten it in 4 days. What's next? And the poor devs what's next?
Yeah. They did say this coming April to give people time to finish the game, so they've given us a month basically. But then, it's only be 2 monsters at least. We know of like 2, possibly a 3rd. So, but yeah. So that's it.
Like the hardcore will come back for the new monsters, but it would be the expansions that will bring people back essentially.
Yes.
That's why I'm just going to wait for the game to be finished before I buy it.
Mm-hmm. Next news item: PlayStation Plus Essentials. That's the lowest tier games for March, which will come Tuesday on Dragon Age: The Veilguard, Sonic Colors Ultimate, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Calabunga Collection. Dave, do you still own Veilguard, or did you sell it, or what?
I've sold it since this news, Pengi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But,
are you going to go back to Veilguard on Plus?
I mean, I probably won't, right? Because that's what I do. But I'm happy enough that I now can get rid of the physical and have the digital, which is a better way to do it. But underrated game. I quite enjoyed it. What I've played of it, and I know you finished it, enjoyed it as well, right? So.
Yeah, I put it very high on my top 10. I think I put it like 3rd or 4th from what I remember from last year. I even got the platinum in it. It's really good. So yeah.
Huge.
Very good. I'm kind of looking forward to TMT Calabunga collection. Like, I've not picked up or played any of that. So even just have a mess around, have like a go on all of them. I think it's got Hyperstone Heist in it, which is the best Turtles game. Not Turtles in Time. Hyperstone Heist is better. People. So that's that. Craig, what about you? You going to jump on Sonic then?
Maybe. I mean, Sonic Colors Ultimate did look fun when they came out. In fairness,
Hmm.
so that could be a good option. But then there's of course endless Sonic games coming out at this point, isn't there? I know a lot of them are kind of like ports and remasters of the old ones.
Which is what Sonic
Um,
Colors is, to be fair. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, Dragon Age is a big get from right.
Mm-hmm.
Not that long after. When did that game come out? Was it like October or something like that?
yeah, it's
Something like
less
that.
than 6 months.
Yeah. So that's a cool get from. So I will claim that definitely. And that's a game I want to play at some point. It's just I feel that's to be a hard game to squeeze in because there's so many big games coming endlessly this year.
Yeah. Lots of big games. The next news item is Super Soccer has been removed since from Nintendo Service Online. Dave, are you gutted that you can't play any Super Soccer?
I am, because I actually own Super Soccer on cartridge, which is
Nice.
it's one of the SNES games I still have. But yeah, I just put it in for more because it's interesting that it's the first instance of a game leaving. So even old Nintendo games are not safe from being cut from services.
Yes, it's not good.
So did they get rid of their coin system as well?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so I didn't read the story fully. I believe they're getting rid of it for the Switch 2. Because you can still buy the vouchers now, but I know you can't do that on Switch 2.
Yeah,
so
they
I'm
won't
guessing,
be compatible Switch 2 games. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're going to be 70 quid, that's why.
Yeah, so I imagine it's going to get phased out. But yeah, it's one of those. It's difficult.
Money
because
back for buying games online. Was that the?
It was
Yeah.
How that
online
worked
and
before?
offline as well. Because you had like a year
Oh,
to
okay.
register your copies, and you'd get money back. Yeah, it's one of those. It's difficult because it was a bonus. It's not like massively essential, but when they get rid of a bonus, it's kind of like, well, it was a nice bonus you've had for years. Because they did it with the Wii U, if you remember, Pengi, with the premium package. They
Yeah.
did the coin, so it's been quite a long time. So yeah, it's a little bit sad. Oh god, the Borderlands film's on Prime, Craigo. Number 1 in the
No.
UK. What are we doing as a country at this point?
Who knows? Who knows? I've added a news one in the thing because we're talking because we brought up Steam with Monster Hunter. PC handhelds are estimated to be sold at 6 million at the moment, with 5 million being Steam Decks. And it's estimated that we will see 2 million PC handhelds sold in 2025. So, good for Steam Deck, 5 million, 6 million, but doesn't seem that huge of numbers. Like, the Vita sold 13 million and was a huge flop, for instance.
Yeah,
So Xbox and PC to jump on, Xbox and PlayStation, I should say, to jump on a market that's only sold 6 million in how many years? When did the Steam Deck come out?
2020. It's also context, though. So the context with the Steam, and I'm not just saying this because I own a Steam Deck. The context with the Steam Deck is it's only sold on Steam, for one. So you can only buy, if you want to buy a Steam Deck, you need to buy it from Steam themselves. It's not retail, which is the big thing with, say, even the Vita. You went to Best Buy and bought it, right? And it's just it's very much a luxury add-on as opposed to a part of a like the head of a product placement of the product thing. If that's the words I cannot get out of my mouth. So it's one of those. For context, I think it's quite decent. To be honest with you, I got like I said, they've got no markup at retail, so whatever they make or lose is what they make or lose. Not many companies can do that, like the headsets and stuff, right? Probably similar products to something like VR headsets, really. So yeah, and I do feel that if PlayStation in particular made a handheld, it would do more than the Vita very quickly, but it's a very different device. Like if you look at the Portal, it's an add-on. It's not its own device, which I don't really think you can make anymore. Like I don't think you can make a Vita that has Vita games, doesn't have PlayStation 5 games. Like, and the Steam Deck is just your PC, but you can play certain games on it, right? It's just a small PC. It's not the Steam Deck has Half-Life 3 as an exclusive. So it's kind of like a different It's a different way to market it. I get what you're saying, because like numbers are
Yeah,
numbers,
because
right?
I'm
But it's
thinking
like,
if Mr. Natala, whatever his name is at Xbox, hasn't, he wants his games everywhere to make more sales. If they did a handheld and it only sold 6 million, I could see him not being happy with that sort of number.
I think he'd be fine. It depends on how much it costs. Because the other thing with
Yeah.
so Vita is the example. The reason the Vita was such a flop is it cost them money to make Vita games, specifically for Vita games. Whereas for Microsoft, I think they would see it as, okay, well, this is Windows in the home again, right? So we're going to sell. It's going to have a desktop mode that's Windows. You're buying games on Windows. You're using it on Windows, blah blah, Windows. You're in the ecosystem, kind of like a Surface tablet, right? Like I kind of think that's how they'll position. I don't think it's going to feel very Xbox. I think it's going to feel very Microsoft. It's going to be like the Portal, like it's an addendum for them. They're not fussed. Like they just want you to buy from their platform. Their platform is Microsoft/Windows. It's not the Xbox console. You know what I mean? I just think it's difficult because I think it's the whole market is so different now to what we know. You can't really apples and orange an Xbox platform anymore, because even if the next platform is literally, so one of the rumors I was hearing is kind of like they want to kind of do like the ROG Ally. So you buy the ROG Ally handheld, and then they sell external GPUs. So this has been a thing for a long time in PCs, but obviously for us console players, it's not a normal thing. You basically can buy the GPU and like a hard drive as a tiny little box you put next to it, and that boosts everything. It's like it's its own separate thing, right? And it costs thousands of pounds to get the ROG Ally one, I think, right, Pengi, if my memory serves me. But that's what they reckon they're going to do. Like it's just going to be like a dockable thing that gets more powerful when you dock it. So it's kind of like, okay, well, again, it's not the main focus of their business. Their main focus is Game Pass. Their main focus is software sales. It's Microsoft. It's not micro hardware. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, I think it's just a different market. So I don't think there's anything we could say that will predict what's going to happen for something like an Xbox handheld. If Steam were to do a Steam console, if PlayStation were to do anything, I think the only thing we can really sort of look at the data and rely on is Nintendo, because they've merged their two divisions. So the Switch is literally the Wii and the DS. Like they've merged those divisions, they've merged their software production. Like Nintendo will now always make something like the Switch. It will be a handheld that is dockable to the TV until we don't have TVs, until they're shot into our brains. Like that's just how it is. But yeah, I think the market's very different now. I think that's why, to be honest with you, I think that's why Microsoft have held off a little bit more in announcing details about stuff, and why they didn't do their cloud stick, because they were like, well, we don't need to, because TVs are powerful enough now to have an app. So, but yeah, that's my mini rant, Craig, on the games industry.
Craig, what do you think on the handheld PCs and their numbers?
I think they'd probably, if you rewind back to before they launched the Steam Deck, and were to say they were going to sell, what was it you said, 5 million?
Yeah. This is all estimates. The estimates, obviously, 6 million in total, 5 million is Steam Deck.
Yeah, I think they would be happy with that, in all honesty.
Yeah.
You remember, this didn't start as something that very much the hardcore of the hardcore talk about, right? If you were to go into, we go into work. There's a lot of people in there who play video games, right, Pengi?
Yes.
You ask those people what a Steam Deck is, 95% of them are gonna look at you like, "What the fuck are you on about?" Let's be honest, yeah. So if I think to sell like 5 million to the hardcore of the hardcore for a new device that kind of a handheld PC for gaming, very much not necessarily a console. I think they would have taken that definitely. So yeah, I don't think those numbers are particularly damning for them.
No. What about the others? 1 million combined? That doesn't seem, you got to split that between the MSI Claw, but that is £999, the new one of that, for instance.
Yeah. They have the
but then
opposite.
Steam Deck has almost become the default in the handheld PC like gaming thing that started now, right? So like if people just think Steam Deck is the default, then everything else struggles, right? It becomes like the UFC MMA thing. Well, UFC is MMA, but when people think MMA, they just think UFC, right?
Yeah.
if you people make a handheld PC, they just make a Steam Deck now.
Yeah.
So I think it's tough for anyone else to kind of almost budge in and like make massive inroads on that.
Yeah, I think they have the opposite problem as well. I think the reason that, like Craig said, the Steam Deck has been as successful as it is because it is targeted at its own audience. Like people that know Steam know what the Steam Deck is.
Yeah, because PC players, they don't like any other launcher, and it's obviously they like Steam. It's the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
You know?
Whereas the other ones are very expensive enthusiast products. Like I have yet to watch a video about the ROG, the Claw, or the Legion Go where the person reviewing it doesn't also already have a Steam Deck. Like it's one of those where it's like it's almost like a gaming laptop. It's very expensive. Like sure, you can buy all of these devices you can buy in Currys apart from a Steam Deck, for example. But if I'm someone that's new to PC stuff, like say if I'm Craig, right? Say I'm a slightly dumber Craig because Craig knows more than I'm gonna say he does for the sake of this conversation, and he wants to buy a handheld gaming thing to play PC games on. He's probably going to go for the cheaper product that's advertised all over the launcher that he wants to play on, as opposed to go like if I walked into Curry's today and I asked for an MSI Claw, there's 12 models of it and they're all 700-800 quid. I don't know how powerful they are. I don't know what they run. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what version of Windows I've got to get, and it's all this difficulty. Whereas the Steam Deck is kind of the Nintendo of the PC thing, like Craig was saying. Like you just buy the Steam Deck. Everything has a Steam Deck mode. It's on Steam. Like you're not. If you're buying different models of Steam Deck, it's not because of power. You're basically picking a nicer screen and bigger memory, and they make it really obvious of what you're buying. Whereas like the ROG Ally, what's the difference between the ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X? Why is the ROG Ally X £900 and the ROG Ally is £500? Then there's the Legion Go S, which is £499, but there's Legion Go 2. So what's newer, 2 or S? And 2's £900. You know what I mean? It's like you get into this, but I think I think it will be a growing market because I think the other markets are slowing down. But again, like we said, it's such an enthusiast like product. Like it's certain type of people really enjoy having handheld consoles, for want of a better term. And I think Steam probably looks at it as a gateway. They probably look at it like if they buy a Steam Deck, they're going to buy 10 games, right? I'm sure the attachment rate is really high on the Steam Deck. Like it kind of was on the Vita, right? But I think it's probably pretty big on the Steam Deck. So, but yeah, it will keep selling, Pengi. Don't worry. Especially when you buy one.
Of news. And last bit of news is Dragon Quest XI S is back on the eShop. I didn't even know it left, and it's now only £35. Craig, have you played Dragon Quest XI? Not on the Switch, but it was on Game Pass, I believe.
It was.
Was it on both the subscription
Yes, I think it was
services
on
at some
both.
point?
Yeah, I think it was.
No, I haven't. It looks like a very long JRPG, which is a very JRPG as well.
That's me.
No.
Yeah, it is pretty old school from what I play of it on the Switch. Dave, I think you actually enjoyed what you played because it was pretty old school.
Yeah, I played the demo on Switch and really enjoyed it. It's one of those games. I've got like a list of games that I need to like write down really, and it's one of those games. A lot of them I've knocked out quite quickly the last couple of years, but that's one. Once I've finished Chrono Trigger for this year's gaming backlog, Dragon Quest XI is very high on the. It's a game I will like and I should play. So it's cool that it's back on the Switch store, and it's cool that it's got the same RRP as it has on all the other platforms. It's been that cheap on Steam for a while. It might even be cheaper than that on Steam. Steam's weird for
if you get a keys code or something, or something on Steam and play it on your Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's a very strange company, Square Enix, with how they release games. Like for the RRP, so I'm going to look now for the sake of this conversation. So the RRP on what is it? Why is Builders come up first, Pengi? Builders RRP $21.99. So Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of Elusive Blah is $29.99 by default on Steam, and Final Fantasy X is $19.99 by default on Steam. But I believe Final Fantasy X, and this is the remaster pack, is £45 on the consoles. So when it goes into sale, it goes into sale for like £17. Whereas obviously on Steam, when Dragon Quest goes on sale, it's £6. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know why it's so weird. I don't know why games are $21.99 as well. Like, how do you decide that? Is that a converted price? I don't know.
It's Square being weird.
Right.
Square being Square. That is all the news.
Well done, Pengi. But it's not all the news, is there? Because we've had lots of showcases.
We've had 3 of them.
Yeah. So I'm going to hand over to the showcases. Showcases King. Are you ready to showcase, Craigo? Or is the silence a pure
So-
panic?
Yeah, the first one we had, I think, was Annapurna, right?
Yes.
I think the Annapurna one and the Xbox ones were on the same day, essentially.
Mhm.
And they're like an hour after each other,
Yeah.
and they're right in the middle of the day as well. So this is the first Annapurna one we've had since the big fallout, I believe, as well. So
Mhm.
that it always makes it interesting. Right, I don't know if this is an order or not. This is just from the Eurogamer website. They
That's
showed
the
Real
one I've
World,
got.
essentially. Real World, which was Ghost Bike, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Although they're saying it was Ghost World, but I don't think it was called Ghost World. I think it was called Ghost Bike. I think that's wrong. Eurogamer are wrong there. I think they're lying. This is from the Nidhogg developers, and it's an open world biking adventure game with some racing by the looks of it. Always looks cool, and every time they show it, I think. Although they did also have the developers talking about the game, and they're doing the whole like, oh yeah, you don't even have to do anything. You can just like cycle around and like and you know and chill out. And I always makes you a little bit cautious. I'm like, no, you should be making the game here, guys. You should be giving me stuff to do.
Yeah.
So that does worry me a little bit. But yeah, I know it's got very cool art style, and whenever they show the racing, that always looks pretty cool. So
Mm.
yeah, it's
I
fun to get
get
these
like
weird like bike stuff, right?
I get like Dungeons of Hinterberg vibes from it, but instead of holiday in like the Alps and thing, you're now biking instead for your like relaxation thing.
Yeah, so hopefully it
Mm.
has like because Dungeon obviously had the actual dungeons, so because there's lots to do essentially.
Mm.
Hopefully they've shown the races, and then they've shown them like you just kind of like circling around. Hopefully there's more to do there. But yeah, I don't think there's any date or anything like that.
No, it's just
Only
summer.
summer.
Yeah.
There you go.
There is a demo on Steam because it is Steam Next Fest at the moment. So
There you go. Give that a download, Davey. See what you think. Tell us next week.
Probably no, if I'm honest. Looking at it.
After that, we had Wonder Stop, which made
Mhm.
Pengi very excited, I'm sure.
Mhm.
They did have the main dev out, he's the Stanley Parable guy, right? And he was saying how, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really like showing my games, what really what they are beforehand.
Wonderful
We
for a
didn't really
showcase
know.
then.
Pardon?
So that's wonderful for a
Yeah.
showcase then, if you don't want to show it.
Mm.
Yeah. I can't. Did we really see what this was, Pengi? In the end, I
No,
can't
still
really-
didn't really. There is a demo
No.
on Steam, and I haven't played it, and I haven't seen anyone play the demo. But yeah, so I can't
There
really
you
tell
go,
you.
Dave.
And
It's another one for you for next week.
God.
And I'm
Report
not.
back.
All right. I'm like, indie games are
Also-
crap. Dave hates indie
I'm-
games again.
I'm also expecting the demo not really to have any of the twists or anything in it, and just be making tea. So that still wouldn't really tell us anything on the game.
No. We already had the date as well, didn't we? So this,
Mhm.
yeah, this was bloody pointless, wasn't it? That whole thing, really.
Yeah,
Saying
we had
that.
the weird bird in it. That was something, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. After that, we had Skin Deep, which I believe was. I'm sure they said that this is people used to make like mods on like the old Doom games. I think that's what they
Mhm.
were talking about. And this is made in like the
Free engine.
Doom 3 engine. They said it looked like a weird ass game. It looked strange. It looked very much to me like a PC indie game. It looked odd. I didn't really get what was going on, Pengi. Did you have any idea what was going on?
Not really, no. Like people, this has been picked up, I think, in the Genome of Fantasy Critic, and it is one
Really?
I can see, yeah, going either way because it does look very weird. From what I think, I was like, it's a bit strange. It is only PC 30th of April apparently, on the
Surprised me
Eurogamer.
itself. Made by and the last game was a VR game.
Yeah.
The last studio, a VR strategy game called Flotilla 2.
I've never even heard of it, so
No, you're Mr. VR. So
yeah.
there is also a demo out on Steam though, Dave.
I've got the Next Fest thing up on my Steam Deck right now, and the level of generic all of this stuff looks like it's wild.
Yeah, so yeah, that's 3 games that you can report back to us on these demos for next week, please, Dave. We're
Yeah.
giving you some homework to do. You said you needed some direction. You didn't know what to do with yourself, Dave. I'm giving
Yeah.
it to you now. There you
I'm,
go.
I'm watching the trailer.
Torture.
I'm watching the gameplay trailer for Wonder
Absolute
Stop,
torture.
and I tell you what, boys, how do these fucking games keep selling?
It really does look like a project game. to
It's
me.
just
It looks like
such
something-
cozy games. If you've been on
There
TikTok or
Game like
YouTube,
it not that long
like,
ago
oh.
that had Slice Stallone as the voice actor.
what, Skin Deep.
Yeah, that looked a bit like Steam. It was actor video game. I'm trying to think what game I'm thinking of.
I think I found the best game on Steam Next Fest, boys.
What you found?
It's called Fear FA 98. Fear FA 98 is Silent Hill mixed with FIFA 98. Use your enemies' heads as balls. Use knives and summon demons. The very first survival horror soccer simulator. So it's literally looks like it's built from the FIFA 98 engine, but there's like demons everywhere and like crazy shit. Video
Actually, a bit
games.
of one of these shows.
Video
Sounds
games.
like.
Anyway,
But
carry
what
on.
was it? This show? We had the Cocoon guys came out, and they said that they were doing a vinyl, the Cocoon soundtrack.
Ugh.
Pengles, you like vinyls? Are you buying this?
Most probably not. No, they're making
No.
songs just for the vinyl as well.
Yeah, so it's not actually even the soundtrack. It's them.
No, they've
their own
added
sound.
stuff to it. Yeah.
Yeah, which kind of defeats the point, really. There's also a collector's edition incoming. I mean, Cocoon's great. If you haven't played Cocoon at this point, then, I would definitely recommend that. And I believe they also announced that they were partnering with Annapurna they're going to
For the
publish the
next
next
game.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so look forward to that. After that, boys, we had Lush Foil Photography Sim, which obviously this is just a photography sim, but these environments looked incredible, boys. They look
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Whoever this guy, because it was just one guy, I think. Like, someone just needs to hire him. Someone hire him and give him a job making environments and games. 'Cause it looked incredible. It looked amazing. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it because it's a photography sim. But Dave, you will be happy to hear that there is a Steam demo out now.
God, it's like,
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have to quit my job this week. I think it's far too much to play. Or that all these games
Yeah.
will be 3 minutes long, won't they? So
Yeah.
yeah.
It comes to 15th April. I'm kind of looking forward to this.
Of course you
Well,
are.
it looks
of
quite
course you
good.
are.
Yeah, it's coming to everything. I don't know how much it's going to be, though.
If it didn't have a platinum, would you still play it?
I might even play it on PC, Dave.
Oh, you've chilled. You heard it here first. I don't know what episode this is. This might be 149. I'm hoping it's not 150. This is the day that video games died. Me and Chris Pengelly,
Wow.
PC Master Race. Craig's
Yeah, yeah.
Craig's the last Xbox owner. They're releasing games just for Craig at this point.
Yeah, the only thing is, like, it's like, how is it going to run on my PC? Like, how good are these environments going to look? But then, how good are they going to look on the PS5 Pro and stuff? Because I expect this is showing it in a 5090 or something like.
But how is that going to
graphics-wise.
make the game play better, Pengy? That's what I want to know.
Well, yeah, it was a photography sim, so this is actually a game where, like, the graphics is the
I'm
same
dead
point.
inside.
Yeah.
The environments just look insane. Just watch, they look great. They look beautiful. Someone give this guy a job.
A real games company, am I right?
Yeah. Get making your environments in your games. After that, boys, we had Far Away, which was a indefinitely replayable, immersive cosmic game. That's how it's been described here. You're playing as a shooting star, Dave.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I believe it's your job you got to make.
New constellations, haven't you? or
Yeah,
something?
you're making new constellations, and then that can link to your next big star that you're going to or something. I don't know.
Sounds like Katamari.
Yeah. It doesn't have a release date yet, but it is coming to PC this year. No demo for you though, Dave.
Oh, boo.
Now, Dave, it's funny you mentioned Katamari though, because after that we had from the creator of Katamari Damacy. Is that how I'm saying that?
Oh,
Damacy.
yes.
Damacy. Kieta Takahashi. Dave, he's releasing Toa. This is fucking bonkers, boys. Absolutely fucking bonkers. I don't know if Dave's seen this.
I have seen the trailer for this.
The trailer is a singing giraffe singing about going to school. This is fucking madness. What is this? Pengles, what am I looking at?
You're looking at a game. It's called 2 a T, Craig. To start.
No, it's called Toet.
No,
it's saying it.
It's 2 a T.
Toet.
It's 2 a T because you're T-shaped all the time, and you're going through life T-shaped for all the time. So there you go.
Just a horrible way to
Oh, yeah.
But
I
There
see
is a
that now.
singing giraffe, though, that likes to cook and get vegetables from his garden. It
This
is
is
very
coming
strange.
very soon. Is Katamari good, boys?
yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, it's good.
Okay. So this guy's good then, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You
like his last
excited for
game
that,
was...
this then?
Was it Wattam? Was the last game?
Yeah, that one was the last game.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be
This
stupid.
is one of the most bidded on games in on Fantasy Critic as well, boys. Throwing that out there for last week.
Yeah. It's a strange one. It could go, like, again, either way, because it's, like, it falls into the same category of, like, a Suda 51, and it's very, very out there with these games and stuff. Yeah, like, even, like, in the showcase, did he take his shoes off and then put his socks on or something when they were talking to him and stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, it's that weirdo,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Foot fetish
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's coming to Game Pass on the 28th of May. I feel like there's 600 games coming out on the 28th of May, isn't there?
Yeah, May is a very busy month for the old video games.
Yeah, so I look forward to Toet, and we will see what it turns out to be.
Yeah.
After that, we had Morsels, which is a game I was looking forward to, and then they said that it was a roguelike, and I lost all interest.
Mhm.
Yeah. Are we all in agreement there?
Yeah, I think
Yeah. I had a cool art style when they first showed it. The guy started talking about cement
so. Mhm.
in the actual show, Dave. He went on a big tangent about how he was looking for like artistic inspiration, and if he's cement was where he went to.
Okay. Well, we've all been there.
Creatives, Dave. They're fucking mental. Fucking
Yeah.
mental. Yeah, it's a roguelike. I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Unless he starts talking about cement again, then maybe I will be.
This is the thing. Like, the roguelike I need to play, or again, is God of War Valhalla, and see if that gets me in. And I may have played the roguelike with not even realizing it. And actually enjoyed it, like a game in that genre. But that's the one I need to really try is Valhalla and see how I get on with that before playing a Morsels, etc.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm,
definitely. And then to round it all off, we had Sayonara Wild Hearts, now on PlayStation 5. Which I mean, imagine it probably was already on PlayStation 5, but now there's an upgrade, which is free,
Mhm.
which is absolute heresy. Free upgrades should be banned, and anyone who tries doing them should be thrown in jail. That's my thoughts on that. I've still never played this. It always looks fun. I
Yeah.
should probably play it at some point.
It's good. I played it on Apple Arcade.
There you go. Best place to play games.
It was
right?
exclusive, like for a bit on Apple Arcade.
This is the game which is a pop album, right? That's how they.
Yeah.
It's not a video game, Dave. It's a pop album. It's an interactive pop album.
Yes. Yeah.
If that doesn't make Dave sick, I don't know what will.
No,
does
but
look cool.
it's now in 4K. You can play 120 frames per second if obviously you have 120 frames per second tele, which I do not have, and I have the haptic feedbacks and stuff like that, and sort of
Excellent.
thing. So the DualSense uses is cool. So, but if it is 4K 120 frames a second, if it is both, I doubt it. Why isn't there like Callisto? Why isn't there an 8K mode that's 60 frames or 30 frames? Where's that? Where's that, TJ?
8K was on the bench on the box, wasn't it?
It was.
So,
Still
Yeah.
is. It's on the box you have, Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a PS5. But Callisto Protocol on Pro has an 8K mode, so yeah, yes.
yeah, and that was the Annapurna show.
Mhm.
I thought it was somewhat fun for what it was, although I've just taken the piss out of most of what was on it as we've done this. But yeah,
Yeah.
Real World is probably the highlight for me. But it was a fun little show. It's alright, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
anything more, or anything less, really, was it?
No, the thing is, I will most probably play most of these games.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like Skin Deep's most probably not going to play, and same with Far Away and Morsels, but you know, One Stop, excited for that, excited for Real World, excited for Tier T, and excited to take photos on PC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll let you
I
know
just
next
wanted
week.
to do
At
it with you.
this point.
Yeah. After that, we had the Xbox show,
Mm-hmm.
which is definitely I haven't got an all post because it's got the best descriptions. I can't remember what all these things were. So the first thing it's got is 33 Immortals launches March 18th, which I think is actually launching into early access. I think it's
Yes, early access,
launching
yeah.
fully. Another roguelike. 33 of you, you'll gang up and pound on bosses. Guess it's
Yeah.
great if you have 33 friends, Pengi.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's some sort of matchmaking shenanigans going on. I feel like this could be good fun in a way. I feel like if there's an ideal for a roguelike, this could be decent. I think it's Game Pass as well, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, apparently the joy of MMO raids in a pick up and play context. That sound good to you, Dave?
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Be all over that. Bellatrix was there. It's on Game Pass, and they announced a load more decks. Essentially, I think it's including Assassin's Creed decks and Fallout and Dead by Daylight, boys.
Yeah. Was this for Bellatrix, did you say?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I can't
endless deck.
emphasize enough how much you two need to play this now it's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
does make sense for it to go on all these subscriptions because essentially what they're doing now is just trying to sell the decks to you, I assume.
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
It is the best PC like lying in bed game I've played. Like, not lying in bed. Like, download it on a laptop and it will run on any laptop, Craig. So your laptop will be fine. And just sit there and click away. And the time will go, and you'll be like, you'll be like, I don't like roguelikes, and then you'll play that for an hour, and you'll be like, oh god, I like this one. I really enjoyed it. I played it last Christmas on my Mac. Great shit. Great
It is-
shit.
It's poker as well. No,
It's literally poker. The rules of poker will help you be good at it as well. You'll love
There
it,
you
Craig.
go.
I'll be honest, babe. You'll love it.
Yeah, Jeffy Grub loves it. So there you
Yeah.
go. After that, you saw Blueprints again, and they confirmed it's coming to Game Pass on April 10th. It's coming to both the services. Still just looks weird to me. I don't really know what it is. Something to do with you making a house. And there's puzzles. But hopefully it gets me points on Fantasy Critic, and that's all I really care about, in all honesty. But I imagine
solve
Pengi will be
mysteries.
trying this.
Yeah, I will be trying this, and I've heard good things about. In the last game to come on both Plus services was Sea of Stars, which I think scored very highly on the Open Critic and that. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go, indeed. Next, there's a roulette game, Buckshot Roulette, which is coming to Game Pass apparently.
Yeah, this is already out on PC, Craig.
Ah, yeah, go. I
Yeah.
don't know. A roulette game. You know how they've come to. That's the video game that I want to make, but that's what they've done. Apparently, it's a strategy game. I think you can have strategy in roulette.
You can do whatever you want to do in 2025, Craig.
Mhm.
Yeah. Descenders next, launching April 9th, and I believe that was also Game Pass. I thought this actually looked really good, boys. Descenders next. I thought this
Yeah.
actually looked quite interesting. I've never played the original Descenders.
It's
I don't know what it was like. You know what the vibes are on that. But this looked really cool. There was some I think you're snowboarding, and there's also like downhill skateboarding going on in the trailer, which looked really cool. So I feel like this could actually be a nice little Game Passy game. was there actually like a story or anything in? Well, I guess not a story, but was there like a campaign mode in the first one, or?
A little bit.
Yeah, there
I
was.
didn't play a
Okay.
whole lot of
Yeah,
it.
there was. It's really good. Like it had the great problem of it was very similar looking to, was it Lonely Mountain Downhill?
Yeah, and they came out at the
Yeah.
same time
Like
as well.
similar fonts. It was like a very like one of those. It just happens sometimes, right? Where two games are made at the same time. They just happen to be alike. But yeah, no, it was pretty good. It was on Game Pass. I think it might still be on Game Pass. My nephew
Well, the new
loves
one's
it.
coming to Game Pass. So.
Absolutely loved it. My nephew, who's a Fortnite Battle Pass kid. He was like 13. He was telling me last time I went to a family thing. He was like, "Oh, it's this game called Descenders on my Xbox. We're playing it, and I really like it. Me and my friends are playing." I'm like, "Okay, that's quite cool. You know, it's not something you would usually expect to break, but yeah, it's one of those type of games. If you remember when we used to like Trials, Craig, I feel like it's the next generation version of that, but with a bit more
Sounds
of like a
about right.
plot. But yeah, no, it sounds good.
Yeah, no, it was a very good trailer. Sold it to me a little bit,
April.
definitely.
So.
Yeah. I realise there's a few things coming Game Pass in April, isn't there now, Chris?
Yeah.
A bit of a build up there. They've got Echo Weaver next, which apparently is coming to Game Pass. It's a Metroid Brainia, boys. So that's what they're describing this as. Action adventure. I assumed this was a roguelike. 'Cause there's something about like Cycle 1, Cycle 2, Cycle 3. I'm
It
guessing
does
it's more
say
just
across multiple loops you piece together the story.
yeah. That worries me definitely. But if it is more
Yeah.
just like a puzzle game, that could be quite cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah, that's definitely. But one which I know Penguins is sure on,
Oh yeah.
and this isn't coming to Game Pass. This is just no ways. That's Herdling. This
Yep.
game, I have no real idea what this is, but every time they show it, it just I don't know. This is the vibe, but it looks really cool. I mean, we've not had very many herding games as well, right, boys? But yeah,
Hurdy-gurdy.
yeah, if you want to just lose yourself and herd some weird-looking animals across some mountains on your Steam Deck, that could be cool. But yeah, Pengi, I know you're very excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. It does look really, really cool. I'm getting like Journey vibes. But a herding version of Journey. Like, oh, they got the mountain, but I need to also herd these weird yaks up the
Yeah,
mountain with me. Yeah.
the something about it, it's just, I don't know, whether it's the art style or
Yeah.
yeah, the music they're using. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for that. And I don't think there's a date yet. No, it's just launches this summer, unfortunately. So
Mhm.
yeah. And they're likening it to the Far games, which could be cool because I really like those games. So
Mhm.
after that, and I believe
It's for
this
that's from
is
Panic as well. That game. Publishing it.
yeah. You mentioned Suda 51 Sweary just a minute ago, right, Pengi?
Yeah.
Hotel Barcelona. I don't think this is the first time we've seen this. I feel like we saw this at an Xbox show before.
Mhm.
This just looks odd. But then again, I guess this is what these people do, right?
Oh yes. Yeah, they
Are
make
you
odd
there
things.
for this one as well?
It's sort of. It looks a little bit like JJ Macfield and the Missing whatever it was called, which only like I've started a couple of times on like Steam Deck and then like on this. No, I don't think it was on this PC. It might have been on my old laptop and that, and not got very far. Looks similar to that, a little bit more bright and colourful. I think. Maybe could be less depressing. Who knows? The story of that, like, stuff. Yeah. Um. This is a weird one that I could even see you liking, Dave, because it's Suda 51 and Sweary and the weirdness of it.
They are weird, my boy. They are weird.
Yeah. Has it come to Game Pass or anything? That might help it.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think this
Yeah.
is one you have to buy with your hard-earned money, unfortunately.
Yeah.
After that, Jump Ship. Apparently, it's a 1 to 4 player FPS. I can't remember what this is, so I think we'll skip that. After that, they've got Lies of P, though, Pengi, Overture, which we've already seen before. Was this the same trailer again? Or was
No,
this
it's a new trailer. This is the story trailer, Craig.
Okay, because I'll be honest, this was the last thing they showed, so I realised that this was the last thing they showed, and I didn't even bother watching it because I have zero interest. So did this get you even more excited for the Lies of P expansion, Pengi?
Yeah, because like I do my playing of Lies of P here, so I played a little bit more of Lies of P. I'm on chapter 5 now. I am thinking a little bit of that, and I am enjoying when I did go back to it. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually a good game. But I don't really know who this like other character is, who looks a little bit like Duchess from the Elden Ring Night Range. She looks similar to that character sort of thing. But yeah, it's like, is the whole game now co-op with you playing as it just says Geppetto's puppet. They don't actually call him Pinocchio, but it's like playing all the way as Pinocchio and have this other character with you all the way through and co-op and stuff, and like what are you gonna fight instead, because it's before all the other puppets have gone like mental, so like are you fighting monsters and stuff instead, which that does seem to be in the trailer. So yeah, I'm really interested in this. The price point though, as it's a DLC and it's like they seem to be pushing it, like, is it going to be like 35 quid like Shadow of the Air Tree, which I've not played because like that's pretty expensive for like DLC sort of thing. But yeah.
It was a new release, you know. It's Game of the Year material, so
Yeah, I know it's Game
you'll
of the
you'll
Year.
pay what they fucking tell you to pay, Penguins, and you
I
have a
I've
smile on your
not
face whilst you do
no,
it.
I have not played that. I put it on my wish list on PlayStation Shadow of the Air Tree. So if it ever goes down to like 20 quid or something. Yeah.
That's just why you're not a true Souls bro,
Well,
unfortunately.
also, if I do get it and I do finish it, I can rub it into someone's face into work because they've not finished it last time I spoke to them about it. So
There you go.
yeah.
All right. After that, the Lonesome Guild was a world premiere, and this is from Don't Nod.
Mhm.
This is a weird little RPG thing. This looked I liked what lot like Don't Nod's games recently, but this looked like the most indie game of indie games of all indie games to me when I was showing it. To be honest with you. So did you get any more of it from that, Pengy?
Nah, this is mostly the first Donut game that I've like got no interest in really in. I guess if it comes to Game Pass and it's co-op and go, oh yeah, we'll play it, but it doesn't seem to say it's come to Game
It's
Pass.
not Game Pass. It's
No,
definitely not. So,
no, not,
um,
puts it off a little bit. 'Cause, yeah, that would have given it some hope for player co-op or something. It could still come to Plus, I guess, or whatever. But yeah.
yeah. After that was Moonlighter 2, the sequel to the first Moonlighter, boys.
Mhm.
Um, this is coming to Game Pass, but I believe this is a roguelike, so I lost interest.
Well, this is actually an RPG, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
Who
I'm
knows?
sure I didn't play the
Just what
first
have
one.
you got this on Fantasy Critic? I feel
No, but
someone.
I think it would be a good shout
Mm,
to get, 'cause I think the first one did review well when I looked,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
probably,
I
there's
one
not
of
many
those
spots left.
I actually
On that.
safe
go on.
bets. Yeah, 82. So yeah, it's probably like one of those like my Lonely Mountain pluck where you just accept you're gonna get like an 81, take your 11 points and go, right?
Mhm.
Sorry, Davey.
I said I actually reviewed Moonlighter 1 for
Oh, yeah, go.
GNAMO when we originally did this show. I actually reviewed it on Xbox. It's really fun. It's roguelike elements if it's the same as the first game. So basically, it's a top-down Zelda game where you go into dungeons and you do the dungeons, but you also once you've done the dungeons, you sell your stuff in like a shop that you run, and it's got like shop simulator stuff where you like put prices up and different like things to sell, and then you use that money then to like pay for equipment to then do the dungeons. It was pretty fun. I played it on Xbox. It did come to bless me, it did come to Game Pass. I think it might still be on Game Pass. But yeah, it was a pretty fun game. It was pretty well made, so it's cool that they're doing a sequel. Another game would
Yeah.
be perfect for Steam Deck as well, I will say.
What they did show in fairness looks very well done. The gameplay and that. There's definitely a lot of quality there if you're into that sort of thing. Um, After that, it's got Outbound, which apparently is coming to Xbox in 2026, which is a drive around survival crafty thing. You make your VW camper van bigger and better.
Mhm.
Yeah, none of us are gonna play that.
There
But
was another
Pengi,
one like that as well called Camper Van. I just had to find it on Steam. It's called Camper Van, Make It Your Home thing where you're upgrading and stuff your camper van and stuff like that. Which looks more pastel in the scheme of it, the color scheme, than the other one. But yeah,
yeah,
2 of them are coming out, so that's weird.
yeah, definitely. One Pengi that you were going on about Papa Pon, or what the hell it was,
Yeah,
Papa Pon.
patter, pawn.
There you go.
Yeah,
A few weeks ago, but now you're getting a new game from those creators, which is
yeah,
Ratatan,
yeah.
Pengi, which is a rhythm strategy roguelike for you. How
Yeah.
how does those three words being combined make you feel?
Not great to be honest. Not great. The Patapon was actually like a rhythm strategy platformer, so I guess they've just changed platformer to roguelike and stuff like that. I was never actually that great at the Patapon games, so I could never get the rhythm and timing stuff on.
Angel's not being good at a rhythm game. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
Oh, you
sort of thing.
you got to stop calling the kettle black there, Craig. I remember a mini game on on It Takes Two, where you were asked to
Yeah.
put numbers and letters. Oh,
Yeah, and I'm watching the trailer now, and it looks like absolutely beautiful and looks like really fun. But I'm like, I am not gonna get these timings down to make my character going rata tan and get them to do their attacks and stuff like that. But it is on Game Pass, I think. It's this is
No, it's
no,
not.
sorry, just coming to Xbox. That's a shame. Because I can still just it being what £25, £30 indie or something nowadays, and I'm like, oh, it looks really good.
you got to
I
finish
don't know if
Patapon
actually
first,
if I'm gonna
Pengy.
actually be fun.
You got to finish Patapon first.
Yeah, but this is a new one. You got to support the devs.
Oh, for
Dave.
Christ's sake, boy!
Maybe it could be on. One for PC, I guess. Play it on PC with controller.
Do
But
you
yeah,
play Patapon, Dave, back in the day?
Yeah, I played them on PSP. Played 1 and 2. I haven't played 3, and they're great games. Like they're actually surprisingly deep RTS games. They kind of you look at them and think, oh, this is going to be Guitar Hero, and you're like, no, I'm using Guitar Hero to play Age of Empires. Is the best way to describe it. It's good. They're great games. It's one of those. If you have a PS subscription, go deep. I think people would enjoy it, and then I'm sure the new game will be good.
Definitely. That could be a good fantasy pickup. I feel. I don't know how Patapon reviewed, but
I think they're pretty
yeah, like
high
you said, Pengi,
80s, right?
yeah.
it does look very nice art styles, and you can tell there's some quality there. Again, after that, Revenge of the Savage Planet was shown again. It's coming to Game Pass May 8th. God, that's another May game, boys. I just realised.
Yeah.
It looks cool. There was a weird trailer because they was trying to do it as some like commercial for something in game, and I actually didn't. I was like, watch this at the start. I was like, has someone ripped off Journey to the Savage Planet? I was like, and then it was like, oh no, this is a sequel. I was like, oh yeah, of course it's a sequel. It looked very much like Journey to the Savage Planet, but they obviously didn't state that. I was like, God, this is someone. They should sue these guys. They've ripped them right off. But yeah, the game looks cool. I really like the first one. I'll be honest with you, I really like the first one, but I want the game. I was like, God, we really need a sequel to that. But we're getting one regardless, and it's co-op, so and it's on Game Pass, so maybe we'll play it at some point, right, boys. After that, what I did think looked really cool was Rock Beats. And this is the game where you were a manager of like a 90s like grunge band, I think it was.
Yeah.
And there was lots of callbacks to like MTV and like stuff like that, which for us, as old men, I guess we missed the 90s MTV, but you did see a lot of like the MTV before it completely died, right? I thought this looked really cool. I like this idea. Whether it hits or not, who knows? But being a like an RPG as a manager of a band, Davey, that's a pretty cool idea, right?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? It's one of those. Like I think again, we've done. This might be the new catchphrase of the podcast, but sounds like a great game to play on a Steam Deck.
See, I saw this
Yeah.
trailer. I played Goodbye Volcano High,
I didn't even know that
We
came
had
out, Pengi. I can,
Yeah.
God.
Well, obviously that had animal characters that sang and stuff. I'm getting that, but like it's now 90s grunge instead.
So is there furries this time for you? Because I know that's one
Well,
of the
they're
big.
all
'Cause I
yeah,
haven't
they
seen
have
the trailer, so you're
dinosaurs.
gonna have to describe all this stuff to me because obviously I'm not. I
Goodbye
don't do that.
Volcano High did have dinosaurs, and now you've got like deers and
Okay,
stuff.
so
And
you're into it because of all the weird like furry stuff, right?
no,
No, I thought
no,
that was.
no, you're the one that plays every Sonic the Hedgehog game, so you know.
Oh yeah, I play it for the sexy plot, Rouge the Bat, and those tatas. Pinky, that's why I play those games.
Yeah. Yes. I don't think this in
Anyway,
this in this isn't it a visual novel? See, I would have said it was a visual novel and you're making choices, but you know.
yeah, I think they tried selling it as like like this
Mm.
a role play thing, right? So, but yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's a visual novel, but yeah, could be a cool concept. Like I said, I did like all the throwbacks to the old like music channel stuff
Mm.
for an old band like me. After that, one that we've seen before, Tanuki Pon's Summer. This is coming to Game Pass. This is your delivery game, Pengi. You like delivery games, don't you?
Do you like
It's,
delivery games?
and the trailer was showing some like mini games in there. There was some baseball, a la the Yakuza games. I think there was some sumo in there as well, and maybe a little rhythm game section, which, as you discovered, Penguin is not so keen on. But again, this is another cycling game where it looks like you're delivering some parcels, doing some tricks. That's on Game Pass. Still no date, just late 2025. Are you gonna check this one out on Game Pass, Penguin?
Yeah, most probably because it does look pretty fun.
It's got really good looking
Who doesn't
cutscenes by
want
the
to be a
looks of it.
Tanuki that delivers mail?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we look forward to that one. After that, we had Tempopo, which is from the guys that made Unpacking. This is a game that I think me and Pengi really liked,
Hmm.
but this is fucking weird. It always, what was is it Captain Toad's treasure tracker thing?
Yeah,
Hell
looks
yeah!
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like that, but it's a rhythm game, and there's a weird child in the corner of the screen, which is terrifying me. And I'm guessing there's some puzzles you've got to solve to get from one part of it to another without getting killed or something. It looks fucking weird, Bengals. It's coming to
Mm,
Game Pass
yeah.
though, and we do like
Yeah.
unpacking. So you there for this?
Mm, most probably not. It does look very odd. I don't think it's for me.
No, even watching this trailer, I'm like thinking, what is going on here? Like, what's happening? How have we gone from
Yeah,
unpacking to this?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Right,
No.
that's the thing.
Um, after that, we had a Tron game, which looked like the most generic Tron game ever. I thought it
Yes.
looked it was top down, coming June 17th. I'm not a big Tron guy anyway, but even if I was, I don't know if this would get me particularly excited.
No, the only exciting thing it is from Mike Biffle, so it might have a good story. That's about all I can really say. Because
Yeah,
he does make some good games. So
yeah. After that, I mean, I'm nearly at the end there, boys. We had Wax Heads, which was you're basically running a dying record shop by
hmm
the looks of it. Yeah, again, quite a cool concept. I thought it's got really nice art style. Not coming till summer 2026 apparently. But again, you did the gameplay looked like you were like using the counter and stuff and talking to the customers. Might be very minimal on the gameplay, maybe like a coffee talk sort of thing, I guess.
yeah,
Liking it too. But yeah, it's a cool idea. You like records as well, Pengi. You can
I
pretend you
do.
have your own record shop.
I could. Yeah.
No mention of a service though, so that's yeah.
No.
You won't be buying that, do you? And then the last one was a game called Woodo. It's a cozy story giving game. I think you were filling in the colors of objects to tell the story.
Yeah, I saw this. This gave me more unpacking vibes than the
Yes,
unpacking game.
yes,
Yeah.
this is exactly what I thought. Looked a
Yeah.
bit odd, very cozy and strange.
We do like
Um,
cozy and strange games.
yeah, very indie. And that was the Xbox show. Again, kind of like the Annapurna, it was fun. I know we've taken the piss out of some of the things that's shown there, but there's like there's enough there. For me, there's like a handful where I was
I
like,
think
oh yeah, this is
11
a fun
games
show.
got announced for Game Pass from it or something, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be. I feel like I remember last year that the IGN show for Xbox was pretty poor, so I felt this was a lot better than that. And then the
Yeah.
last show, Dave, you're going to have to jump in here because I did not watch it at all. All I've seen is the main trailer, and that was the Pokemon show. So what did they show? What was interesting from Pokemon?
Whoa, it would be a short one, right? So they showed off a battling style concept trailer for a game called Pokemon Champions, which looks
You do, Dave.
what?
Digimon are the champions.
Pokemon Champions. So this is a game that's coming to mobile and Switch, or Switch family of consoles, as it's now referred to in all official Nintendo stuff. It looks like it's going to be Pokemon Stadium, where you take your Pokemon. Again, they didn't say any of this. From what they showed and the slides they showed after, I am assuming that you take your Pokemon teams from Pokemon Scarlet, Violet, Sword and Shield, Pokemon Home, which is like the hub app for how it all combines, and you put it into this game, and then you can play online. And you can play online on your Switch, you can play online on your mobile, and it's just basically the battling, it's the Pokemon Stadium stuff. That's all they've told us, really. Conceptually, I really like the idea of it because, to me, my big problem with the Pokemon games in the modern generation is that they kind of all connect, but then you kind of don't. So, like, if you prefer Sword and Shield, then you're not getting a service as if you prefer Scarlet and Violet. So to me, if Champions is the quote unquote competitive Pokemon game and you just play the other games and then you put it all into this one game, I really like that as a concept. If that's what they do, I don't know. They didn't really tell us much, Craig. But that's what it. Did you watch this, Pengi? Are you going to jump in with
I
any
did.
any thoughts?
I might play it. It's like, is it going to be like we're going to have to buy this, or is it going to be like a weird free thing? Because it's on mobile as well. Makes me think it's going to be free. And like, I don't know, we pay some sort of subscription, or you've got to pay for Pokemon Home or something. Not sure how it's gonna work, and how much I want to play competitive Pokemon battling. To be honest, either.
Yeah, I think it's for a market. I think if you want to play it, it will suit you. And we know how big Pokemon is. We can't.
Yeah.
I know that right now I'm probably the only Nintendo-y of us all, but Pokemon's huge, right? So
Mm. I would still. I think obviously it's like in the cloud somewhere. Like if I went and got a Switch 2 tomorrow and I can download Pokemon Home, I should in theory have my Pokemon. So I should have like my shiny Eevee and my shiny like Sylveon and shiny Glaceon and all the other evolutions,
nice.
and that I could bring over to battle with. But yeah.
Did you watch any of this, Craig?
I'll jump in when I want to, David. Don't
Okay.
you worry.
Much like me with the indie stuff, right?
Yeah.
They announced some updates for all their other games. So all the mobile games, all of the current games have updates. They're not significant enough for me to talk about. There's a new trading card pack for the trading card game. There's more Go events, whatever. The standard Pokemon stuff, right? And then the only other thing they really showed was a new trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA. Or ZA if you're American, ZA man if you're American. They showed the starters. You've got Totodile, Chikorita, and Tepig. They showed that you're basically in one growing city, and it's got zones where the wild Pokemon are, which is kind of cool. It's very different to Legends Arceus. They showed a new combat system, which is way more involved and way more actiony. But still turn-based, and then like moves have range and stuff now. Like it's quite an advancement in the combat system. It's quite a big change. So it's to me it's quite cool because it feels a little bit like Arceus kind of felt like the sort of pre for Scarlet and Violet, like kind of testing the waters. And this I feel like this might be the testing the waters for Gen 10 or Gen 9 or whatever Gen 1. I think it is Gen 10 anyway. Pangos will be able to tell.
Yeah,
me.
we Gen 10. Yeah.
So it's one of those that I think that's quite interesting. They showed a lot of characters and how they kind of seem like characters that are in the Unova games later on, including one character that is in the Unova game later on, which is, I'm not going to spoil Pokemon Black because the story is actually one of the best things about it. But there is a character that is of a large age and that character is shown much younger in this game, which seems quite interesting. And there was also a character in Legends that was from the Unova game, I believe, that also got thrown back in time. So I wonder if that will connect. But yeah, they showed it. They said it's coming out late this year. They didn't say specifically Switch 1 or Switch 2. They again went for Switch family of consoles. But they obviously showed Switch 1 when they were showing it in context. I thought the trailer was okay. I watched the trailer again on my Switch OLED today because I was like, is it the TV that makes it look so bad? And it's kind of it is and it isn't. It looks a lot better on a smaller screen with the resolution pushed in, but obviously the game still looks like it's your standard Switch game where it doesn't run well. It kind of looks a bit, a bit, for want of a better phrase, PS3-y. Maybe not even that good, really. But yeah, it's a difficult one to judge. I kind of don't mind seeing it run badly because to me that means it's the actual game they're showing, and we've still got 6 to 9 months of development. So if they're showing the actual game that looks like that, in my mind it might look better when we get to it. The performance never bothered me with Scarlet and never bothered me with Arceus. I'm not the person to ask. I just like the poke. It's a turn-based game, right? But yeah, Pengi, what did you think?
It looks like something done there. Yes. It looks a bit rough. So I'm hoping Switch 2, but then Switch 2 suddenly isn't going to make the graphics look better or anything like that. Anything is just going to help resolution, unless there is an actual Switch 2 version. And I don't see that being the case. I reckon it's just going to be a Switch game, which you play via backwards compatible. Totodile would be who I'd be starting with most probably, because I'm not really that keen on the other two. But yeah. Yes. I don't know what Craig is thinking of this.
It's tough because to someone who has no nostalgia for Pokemon, you kind of look at this and you're like, oh, this yeah, that looks like a Pokemon thing, yeah. So yeah, it's tough to have any real constructive input to answer because yeah, it just looks really dated to me. And like, I've had this conversation separately with Dave. I was, all the studios that they have and what they could do with Pokemon.
Yeah,
and then this is what we end up with. But like, it's gonna sell. It will sell crazy numbers, and it will probably review well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why they don't throw Monolith at it, I don't know. What, like, honestly, because
there's so much cool stuff you could do with it.
Yeah, the engine stuff. If it was just the engine stuff, like if they were like, right, hey guys, come over and show us how to fucking make stuff run. Like, you look at Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, which is coming out. So you look at those games running on a Switch, it's insane. Like, so I think Xenoblade's coming out this month. Like, that game looks incredible for a Switch game. It looked incredible as a Wii U game, but like, it looks incredible as a Switch game. Pengi knows from playing the Xenoblade games, like,
yeah,
there's no reason
yeah, 3's
why
really
it should run
impressive.
that badly.
And much as I rag on like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they do actually look good and stuff, and the big open world games and stuff like that. Like, you just have like Breath of the Wild and you just put, instead of having moblins and stuff in the world, just put a Pikachu there or something, and it like look way better already.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense because it's the biggest franchise on the platform, like in terms of pure franchise. And like, there's been, I think, didn't I work out, something like 4 mainline Switch games, and they keep getting uglier. Because Let's Go Pikachu looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks great.
So just Sword and Shield, which like
Sword and Shield looks better. Has the frame rate problem in the open world bit, right? But again, like they you know what I mean? Like, they couldn't do it. What did they make a whole game? Like I said, I love Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I think that game's great. It's not a looker. Like, it's not a looker. The gameplay's great, but it ain't a looker. So yeah, it frustrates me because, like I said, I really like Pokemon. Pokemon is one of the 2 big pillars in which I will buy every Nintendo console. I will play every Pokemon game, and I will play Mario Kart. Like, that's coming this year. So I'm a happy guy, right? As far as the Nintendo fan goes, the Nintendo fan in me this is my best year ever, right? I'm getting Pokemon and Mario Kart. But it's like, I do look at Legends ZA and go, I'm going to enjoy this, but I know that I'm going to get annoyed by the complaints about how it looks, and I think it's fair game, But hopefully, it's 2025. They're able to figure out some sort of patching system that knows it's on Switch 2, right? They've got to find a way, Pengi. But yeah, and that was within Pokemon Show. They didn't show a lot. Like I was personally hoping for some NSO or some remakes or something. That wasn't forthcoming. It is what it is, right? We go hungry most times as Pokemon fans. Pokemon Champions, I think, is a more exciting announcement because it's so different for the company.
Yeah.
And being on mobile is huge. If it really is a game that you can take your Pokemon from all of the games, because you can pretty much connect every game to Pokemon Home at this point. So if you're able to do that, and then you've got this like competitive game, and I know again, like it's not for us really, but like that's huge. Competitive Pokemon is huge. Like it's one of the reasons the game sells so well. So I think it's cool. And that is the Tots, boys. So what follows?
Shows.
Yeah.
The shows.
Lots of shows. Yeah.
We've gone done with Tots. I've now got a Inception where the video that's playing is last week's podcast. So I'm going to have to skip that. So let's get to the last section of this ever-long podcast with Chris Pengelly telling us what he's been buying and playing this week.
So, nothing. Played some Liza P, as I mentioned. I played a little bit of Liza P on Chapter 5 of that, I believe, is where it's good. I'm enjoying it. And then I played and rolled credits. But just before this podcast, that's what I was waiting for. Finished low rank. So that's Chapter 3 of Monster Hunter Wilds.
You've got a real problem, Chris Pengelly, and I love it.
Yes.
So what did you think?
So far is so good. Obviously, still got 3 chapters to go in high rank. So yeah, quite a lot out to go. But what I've played so far has been pretty enjoyable. I am using the long sword and the bow as my weapons at the moment. They may try switch axe and like bow gun at some point. There are some changes, like we discussed it in the news, like the food you used to have used to go to the Palicos or something. They make you the food and stuff and get you buffs. Now it's just you make it yourself in the tent. It's no different. It's like the scenes. There was always that like little cool sort of little cutscene and music thing, and that Monster Hunter's known for. And there's a few other bits and pieces and changes. That some of it's better, some of it's worse. A few other things like talking about like updates going to make some harder monsters and stuff like that. So far I think I've cutted once. Okay, I know I'm only on low rank sort of thing. But I don't know how many hunts it is, and it does seem quite easier because especially now you have the wounds on the monster, and it's like, right, I've got focus mode, right? I can see the big red weak spot. Let's just slice and dice that weak spot on that monster. And then
you can just focus mode and then use your focus mode attack, and it just like kills it.
Yeah. So yeah, that seems much more easier so far. Again, this is low rank, so when it gets to high rank, maybe it's different. But then you're going to get better armor, better weapons. So is it that much harder because you're upgrading your weapons at the same time, sort of thing? So yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. I think I've 17 hours I've played. From reviews and stuff and some from Monster Hunter like places and the review, they did say low rank was about 10 hours and stuff like that. So I'm like 17, so 7 hours over that. But I have done like almost every optional quest that has come up. I've hunted one of the later Apex monsters 3 times, and I'm missing one part, which only drops like 7% to make the full armor set. And then me and Craig did do some hunts together where we like re-hunted the spider monster 3 or 4 times as well, to get all the gear and that for like that weapon and armor that I wanted. And I think you actually used the same armor, didn't you, Craig? I don't know if you're using different armor now or you're still using the same one.
Same one at the moment, yeah.
Same one, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is basically all I've been playing. Basically, since it come out at midnight on Thursday or Friday, however how you look at it, and stuff like that. So lots of money, and I'm like rank 8 hunter, rank 8 after finishing the low rank thing. There's people in like the Monster Mash squad. Some of them are like rank 22, 40 odd and stuff already. So yeah, obviously some of them may have had it early and stuff like that from reviews that are joined that. Like, but one of the G Namer lads is on 13 or 14 hunter rank already. So yeah, that must be like good 20 plus hours in already. So a lot of monster hunting. So as Craig said, we're just gonna be soon. I'll be like, where's the rest of the game? Like, where's the rest of the game? Where's that update in April?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's all you've played, Pengi, yeah?
Yep.
Well, we might as well transition into Craigo then, because obviously you've played it as well. So Craigo.
I've pretty much mainly just played Monster Hunter as well, in all honesty. I think I did one.
And it was when you one pickup. You had a pickup this week, right?
Yes. I think I did one dungeon on Metaphor Refantasio,
Yes.
and I was literally about to play it. Dude, I got up fairly early on the Friday, my day off, and I was like, I didn't have Monster Hunter at the time, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just play some Metaphor in bed. I'll do a dungeon or so, right? And then as I looked, I got a message from one of the guys in America saying, "Oh, we found the copies of Monster Hunter. If you want to come in and get them," I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm dropping everything and walking and getting Monster Hunter now."
Love it.
So yeah, I did end up getting Monster Hunter
Yeah.
on launch day. Like Pengi, I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'm a mere like 5 hours in, which was mostly on the first day, in all honesty.
Mm.
Quite a lot. That was me and Pengi playing together. I really like it. It's the most. I don't know if it's just because I'm early. I'm only on chapter 1, but it's definitely the most story-based Monster Hunter game that I've
Mm-hmm.
played by a long, long way. Which is good and a little bit awkward. Like it's really good like playing it, like the way it actually sets stuff up and then introduces the monsters and like you're going into these different tribes and the world and all that. That's really cool. I really like that. It did make it a little bit awkward when we were playing together, Pengi, because it
Yeah.
was like normally when when we were playing Rise, Dave, it was right. Here's these 15 quests. You've got to do 10 of them. Let's say, so you get the next story bit, right? So you just go through. You start at the top. You work your way to the bottom. You do the quest, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this was very much like, oh, we've got a like Pengi's got to kind of almost wait for me to get to the thing and then watch the cutscene and then I like signal him in. But he's in my lobby, so we can't really do anything else whilst he's waiting. He's just kind of
No.
like riding around.
Yeah,
Did make it a little bit weird.
just
I
start
don't know
around
if
and
that's something that like the game carries on with that tempo or if it does just like open up into more of a classic Monster Hunter. Pengi, I don't know how far you've got. If
yeah, the
it's
only thing is I feel there must be still more, chapter 4, 5, 6, the higher rank, there's still gonna be story and cutscenes and stuff I'm expecting. So I don't think it's until, you finish chapter 6 and then it's like, right, you're grinding, for better, armor and stuff like that, ready for the updates and going
yeah.
into master rank when the expansion, happens in like a year's time.
But I really like. I have been using the flares still when I'm doing the hunt, so just getting people in. I love the what that's I think they started that in Worlds, right, and it's so seamless, and it is I do just like just playing these games sometimes with randoms and getting them in there, and they have the different wacky weapons and having like four of you just beating on some poor. Almost defenseless monster at some point, Dave. You're just slaughtering the bastards, right? It's great fun.
Hell yeah.
Uh, I started with the bow because I like seen a little bit beforehand. The people saying the bow is really good and really fun. I didn't get on with it that well. I found it a bit like I have comes to sort of, but it's very draining on stamina because like I think the rhythm of it is you're meant to be like firing then dodging, then if you time the dodge perfectly, then it automatically gets your charge all the way up. But like that just use your like stamina so fast. So I found myself like running out of stamina a lot and being like, oh, I don't want to just stand there and like just shoot normally because that's kind kind of boring, right? Doesn't seem like what I'm meant to be doing. So I tried out the dual blades, and I absolutely love the dual blades. They are fantastic fun. They are like simple, but also there's like some depth to it as well for you to master. And even for someone like me who's not great at like action games, a lot of the time I'm just pressing buttons, Dave, and cool shit's happening. I'm all over the screen. There's damage indicators everywhere. I'm slashing away. Sometimes you get to do the cool focus move where I'm like using a like a grappling hook sort of thing and swinging around the monster's head, and I'm like swinging all the way down its spine and cutting it as I go. It's great. I really like the dual blade. So yeah, I think I'm going to continue using them. It does have the mechanic, like Pengi said, where you can have two weapons, but you do have to get back onto your mount to swap, which does make it a little bit cumbersome to do. So I do have the bow still as my secondary if I want to like go back and try it again, but I've mainly just been quite happy using the dual blades, to be honest with you. It does, like Pengi said, it does seem easier. I think a lot of that also comes down to the mount. Because the fact that you can just call the mount in at any point, and the mount like auto dodges everything. Like you don't even have to control it, David. It just rides around for you.
Yeah, I've heard that the mount, if used correctly, is somewhat broken in terms
Oh
of
yeah,
like
it is OP as fuck.
invincibility frames and all that kind of stuff. Like it's kind of it
Yeah,
looks
it
cool. Like, and
is.
I enjoyed what I played of it in the beta. But yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, the mount is I think what makes it almost so easy because if you're ever in trouble or like you're getting low in health or anything, you just call your mount in and it just like I said, just dodges for you. You can just ride round. You can sharpen up your sword. Heal yourself with potions. So there's never that like panic moment of oh god, I'm nearly dead. I need to put my weapon away and now I need to run away and I need to get the safety and I need to try and heal and I need to stop and sharpen my blade and all this. Like you don't really have to do that because you just press up on the D-pad and you're safe essentially. Um, so yeah, it's a feature that's definitely very OP in the game. But yeah, like I said, very much enjoyed the 5 hours that I played so far. I'm looking forward to playing more of that. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. So a little bit of metaphor and those 5 hours of Monster Hunter. What about you,
I do
Davey?
love that you've played 5 hours and Pingles has finished it. That's pretty.
I've not finished it. I've finished low right.
For you,
There's still There's still 3 chapters to
game
go.
done. Game done.
Yeah, 3 chapters.
So for me,
3 chapters.
no pickups. No pickups. Not yet. Anyway, no pickups today. On PlayStation 5, just more It Takes Two with Craig. Because I never forget our love, even if he forgets.
Yeah.
Forgets our love. But yeah, we're enjoying that, aren't we, buddy? We
it's great.
We
Yeah.
like our stupid co-op, and it's a pretty fun game. I don't think we're massively far from the end. I think hopefully this week we'll get that finished, get the platinum, get all those missed trophies. I think actually I've only missed one. I think you might have missed two, so we won't be too bad. Really good game. Studio's great, right? So can't argue with that. Not really played anything else on PS5. I played a bit of Crash Team Racing to get footage for the podcast, but I'm not counting that really, to be honest. On Steam Deck, which is where I live now, I have mainly been playing. I've been jumping between Kingdom Hearts Final Mix HD. I've just done Deep Jungle, so I've got a little bit of random stuff if you know the game, and then kind of into like the second part of the game really. Still a really good game, really suits handheld, the way it plays, so looking forward to keep playing those games. And I didn't want to buy Monster Hunter Wilds because I own so many and I have played so little, so I ended up playing some Monster Hunter Rise on my Steam Deck because it looks and runs great. I got it in a Humble Bundle a while ago. Really enjoying it. I've dabbled with a few different weapons, and in the end I've settled back on Longsword because I know it's like the OP easy mode for everyone, but I'm trying to get into the series. I'm playing it solo. I just want to fucking stab some shit really, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm on rank 4-star on Rise, not that far into the game, but like a little bit, about as far as I got on Xbox. I'm enjoying it. It really suits. It was a Switch game, right? It really suits handheld. Just playing it in bed, doing a hunt, doing some like expedition-y stuff. Looks and runs really good on Steam Deck. The PC version is really good for Rise, so it's running at I think I've got it on ultra settings, 60 frames. Obviously it's 800p because of the screen, but yeah, it's really good. Really recommend. It's an experience. I really recommend Rise. Overworld on the Steam Deck because World chugs a little bit more, but I think it's just because of the type of game it is. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing. I've got another week now where my partner is still away, and then it's my birthday. So I would imagine I'm going to play quite a bit this week.
Yeah, you gotta play. You gotta play all those demos.
I've got to play all these demos. That's tonight's. I've got Total Recall up ready to watch tonight, so I'm going to play those demos while watching Total Recall. Going, Jamie! Great stuff from Arnold Schwarzenegger in that film. Have you seen Total Recall, Craig?
They did a remake of it, I believe, and I think I watched the remake.
So,
That's
so you've
awful.
watched the bad one. You haven't watched the good one with.
I liked the remake.
Oh,
I
but
enjoyed it.
the first one's so good. It's Quaid. It's me. Oh, you need to watch it. It's on Prime Video. That's how I'm watching it. So your homework for tonight, Craig, is to watch RoboCop somehow, watch Total Recall, and then watch Terminator 2, which is on Prime Video. Because I'm gonna watch. Probably I might even watch both tonight because I won't sleep. So I might watch Total Recall and Terminator 2. Just get us wake up speaking Austrian. But that's an aside. That's the podcast, boys. Another almost 2-hour podcast. Hope there's only the Nacon show at the minute this week, so hopefully next week's won't be quite as long. And this is the last time I talk to you as a 34-year-old man. So thank you for everyone that's been in my life for 34 years, especially you, Chris Pengi, because you're old. You're older than me, but I stopped being younger than you in a week's time, and that's really upsetting.
Yes.
And Craig is just a little baby. Little baby Craig. But yeah, thank you for watching the show. Comment what your favourite Annapurna and Steamfest demo is in the comments below. And we will see you next week.
Bye.